Good evening, everybody. My name is Joseph Elmo Brown. Everybody call me Joe Brown. And I'm from Caroline County, Virginia. And I was born in 1943, September 22nd, 1943 in Caroline County. And I'm very interested in the family that I came out of. My mother was a very strict person when it came down to discipline. And my father, quiet, he's a quiet type guy, but my mother carried the big stick. When I said big stick, she made you behave yourself, and it taught us to have respect for other people. Well, first of all, some of the best memory I had about my mother, she was a great cook. I loved to eat. My mother was a great cook, and we lived in an old house back in the day, and she believed in keeping the house clean. And my mother believed in God. That was taught to us also. And we didn't have that much money-wise, but we were taught to have respect for people. I'm going to name them. The first child was Shirley, then Adele. And after that, there was another boy, his name was Waffle. He passed. And after Waffle, I think it was myself and Joseph Brown. I was the next one. And after that, it was Leroy, my brother. And after that, we had a sister named Evelyn, whom was your grandmother, and Irma Brown Baylor, and had another sister named Irene, and another sister named Georgia. They passed, they died young. And I had another brother named Henry. He died. Oh yeah, Rosalie, my sister, yeah. Thank you. Well, some good memories from my childhood was playing with the other kids in the neighborhood. None of us had that much. Like Christmas time, we didn't get a whole lot for Christmas, but we had oranges and apples and little wagons and toys and stuff to play with, coming up as a young kid. And the elder people played a big role in my life coming up as a kid, because you did what they asked you to do, and you had respect for them. And that was an important thing that helped me out to get to a grown man by going by the rules that were taught to me as a child. Well, some of the oldest people in the community when I was coming up was Cousin Susan Hunter, Cousin Jenny Mars. They was the older people, and Cousin Mary Lee, Mr. Charles Lee, and Deacon Louis Timmer, who was a church man that taught us a lot. And they were some of the older people that I know. And my grandmother, Jane. My grandmother's mother was a slave, and my grandmother's father was a slave. His name was Adam Mines. And another person I will never forget, because every time she came to my house, I thought it was going to be a baby going to be there. And she was a midwife, and her name was Leah Goodall, Cousin Leah. We call her Cousin Leah. And these people that I remember very well as a child. Okay, on my mother's side, my grandmother's name was Jane. I call her Mama Jane. And she was a very nice person. She loved baseball. The Dodgers was her thing. She loved them Dodgers. But see, now, her husband, his name was Marlon Smith. I just barely remember him as a child. Now, on my father's side, my grandmother's name was Betty, and her maiden name was William, and she married a Brown. I remember her, but her husband, his name was going to be Henry Brown. I didn't remember him. Okay, my favorite aunt was my Aunt Mabel, who was my Aunt Dorothy, my other aunt, and my uncle Marshall Smithers, He was the big man that made all that ice water. Anybody that watched it, they know what I'm talking about. That was his job. Yeah, he's the ice man, and he bragged about it. But I love all my kin people. And my Uncle John, my daddy's brother, I was real close to him, and I remember him very well.
What was Uncle John like?
Nice man, and he loved my daddy. And he always had a car. My daddy never had. My daddy never owned an automobile, but Uncle John kept a car. So Uncle John would come from Panola and to Dawn, pick us up and take me up to see his mother, who was my grandmother Betty. And my grandmother, like I said, her maiden name, she was a William. And if you know Sherman Quash and the Quash people, my grandmama Betty, sister's name was Mildred, and all of them was kin. Play ball, baseball, and some of my favorite buddies was Stuart Timber, William Lee, Robert Quash, Charles Quash, Granny Petrus. All we did was play baseball. That's the only thing we did. I didn't never even own a bicycle. I had to bum a ride, borrow other guy's bicycle. I came up on the rough side of the mountain. So I made my mind up, once I get grown, I'm gonna buy myself a bicycle. Yeah. The pharmaceutical company was A.H. Robin Company. And I worked there for 40 years. And I was hired, I think I was 19 years old when I first went there. As a matter of fact, the man that hired me, he just recently died. And I worked there for 40 years. And after, when I retired, I had about 500 people at my retirement party. The man that hired me, he became the vice president of the company. And I had a lot of people, black and white. Some people criticized me for having white people at my retirement party. But I couldn't do that because when I first went to Rome, they was all there and they were treating me nice. All my life from a young child, because I was a nosy type kid. And my mother, when people came to visit us, my mother would run me out the house, because at that time, they wouldn't allow children to listen to grown people conversation. So I tried to find a way to get in the house every time somebody came there. My mama, get out of here, here you come again, get out. Didn't nobody come to see you. So that I duck it out. One time I know some people come out. What I did, I got up under the bed, hide, and tried to listen to the conversation. There I picked up a lot of stuff. I was nosing, getting information. And I always wanted to know who I was kin to, all my life. I'm like that right today. Well, what inspired me to do it, to get this reunion, because a lot of people were taught to us as a child, after third cousin, you know, no relation. I didn't accept that. I didn't know no different. So the first family reunion that I got together was in 1982 at King's Dominion. And it was in the newspaper the next day, Richmond Times-Dispatch, and that's in the State Library of History right now. That same family reunion, we had over 1,050 people there at that reunion. It could have been more, but the reason why it wasn't more, a lot of people didn't like what I was doing because they didn't understand, you know. Because like Cousin Pearl, I'm going to mention Pearl, you didn't know Pearl. Pearl found out that's what I was doing, and Pearl laid me out. I said, I was at my cousin Queen's house, and Queen told us, Joe is here. So Pearl said, put Joe on that phone, put him on that phone, I said, hello, Pearl. Pearl said, Pearl, nothing. That was Pearl talking to me. I said, well, Pearl, why you so hard on me? You hard on yourself. Now, because we ain't never had this kind of problem before you come with all this mess. And furthermore, Joe, you ain't no man, you was a brown. I said, but Pearl, my grandma was a man. Pearl said, I know that, but I'm talking about you. But I like Pearl. She was my buddy. But Pearl did not like the idea of our getting that reunion. Because a lot of people saw it being a problem, you know. But see what happened, a lot of people at home were marrying one another. Mhm. Because they said after third cousin, you want a kid. Now, you know that ain't true. No. Okay, the one that really helped me, he's dead now, he's rich in mind, Rosebud Bennett. Rosebud here now. She live in Atlanta, Georgia now. They played a big role in helping me. There were quite a few people that really helped me. My aunt, my grandmama Maple was a big help. People like Thomas Mine, Charles Goodall. A lot of people helped me because that next day at that family reunion we had a big cookout in Thomas Young's backyard that Sunday, and that place was loaded. music, music. Had a beer truck up there. they had to pay for nothing. It was a big event. It wasn't the biggest thing that happened right in that community. And that been, 40-some years ago. Now that was a little different. Didn't no fussing, because the Brown was so happy, to have a Brown reunion. And the Brown reunion went down very smooth. There wasn't no argument or nothing. And I can kind of understand that because by me coming up in Dawn, and all the Brown, they didn't come up in Dawn. They came up in Panola and places like that, But it wasn't no problem. The Brown was nice. We had about 500 people at that reunion. And then we had a Smithers family reunion also. I got that one up.
Oh, okay. What was that one like?
And that was nice, but we had some few hard heads in that one too.
Can you share your experience?
Yeah, we had some. See, you got some hard-headed people. They don't want you to talk about them things, cause they told me let bygone be bygone. That was a lot of people, older people told me.
And what was the Smithers family? I never heard of that one. What was that?
That was in the 80s also, but that came after the mine was the first family union. And we had about 500 people at Smithers family union too. And that was at the John Marshall Hotel, I think. No, wait a minute. I think it was the John Marshall Hotel. I think it was. Yes, it was. Well, when you think about slavery, that played a big role in our history, slave, And I tell you, that meant a lot to me to get involved in that. And that's why I thank the Lord that I got an opportunity to go to Africa. And before I left there, the show used to be on TV, Judge Joe Brown. Before I left there, the people that were calling me Judge Joe Brown, Judge Joe Brown. This in Africa. And I went to Africa 3 different times. And it was nice. But I always believe that especially young black people, they need to know what their ancestors went through. And I'm not talking about going around hating white people, because slavery was wrong, But I can't hate those people the people that live in the day for what their people did, But it was very interesting, and young black people need to know about that history. You know what? It was cold, because I remember the first time we flew from out of New York. It was cold as the devil, but we got out for the weather was just nice and warm. Once you meet the people, a lot of them, they would come to you and they came to me and look at me and they would tell me, we are the same peoples. And that's my name. I told my name, Joe Brown. Then they started calling me Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown. That's what they called me, Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown. And they were nice people. But the lifestyle altogether different than it is here. Altogether different. Oh, this one was easy. The rubber one was in 1982. That was the big bad boy. See, even them, and then a lot of people done died out there. And the younger people got a better understanding. I think they have. I know they have, I would like to share with all the young people, especially black people, they need to know more about that history. Because if this governor, I think, in Florida, he trying to eliminate black history being taught in the school system. We need to know our history. Yeah. Mostly Rosebud, to be honest with you. You don't know, I don't think you know Rosebud. Rosebud played a big role.
She's the one from Georgia.
She live in Georgia.
I met her at the family.
Yeah, you met Rosebud, yeah. Rosebud played a big role. She really did. Mike, I just recently met Mike, mine. And he's from the northern part of Virginia. And I know we could connect him with us. And the other fellow from California, and his name was Robert Mine. Robert Mine. You met him too, didn't you? Yeah. And I mean, they really enjoyed themselves. And it was nice they came to Minya too. Okay, right now, I'm trying to help out because I can't get around that much. But like some of the kids right now, what they want to do, get a reunion from everybody descended from Grandpa Marvin Smoother and Mama Jane, grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. Because a lot of them, you got a lot of kin people, you don't, a lot of them I don't know them. So that's coming up, We'll try to get that together sometime next year. The word I like to leave with the young people, please don't forget what our ancestors, don't forget about slavery. And anything you can learn about it, go out and get the information. Because you need to know. The young black people need to know what their ancestors went through, because they paid a big price for you. And I think a little better for us now. But you just think about what happened to our ancestors. They suffered big time. I'm telling you. And the young people need to know that and be proud of themselves. Because we got a reason to be proud. Because if it wasn't from us, this country wouldn't be what it is right today. Mr. Young always said it all the time. And that's true. Yeah. Yeah, you should. Yeah, let Miss Young say something. Miss Young, and tell her how you met me, Miss Young.
Yeah, how'd y'all meet each other?
Yeah.
Well, I met Joe through a friend of his, Mr. Riddick.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Riddick told me, he said, I'm going to tell you, Joe don't get around with it. He gets around with everybody. From that point on, we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
But the point was, what really made him take to me, well, I was born in Carolina County.
He showed him up? Mm-hmm.
I was born in the Foul.
You should be know some people came in Foul, didn't you? In school. Sparta. You must. Yeah. Because your dad and you went to.
The Foul run this way and come on around, and Sparta go this way. It's a cutoff. But when you go back behind that church back there, they all interlock together. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this man been mighty nice to me since I've been down. I want y'all to know that. Miss Young been better to me than anybody. Take me, do things for me. Don't send anybody the money sometimes to make him take it. Yeah. So you don't find too many like him,
Well, I told you, Lord let me get to be your age. I hope somebody come around and help me too.
Well, you don't never know.
Because it's a blessing to get to your age.
Yeah.